Hey, welcome to week one of Biology 201. All right, so what I'm going to do every week is just make a quick announcement and record a video to let you know what you have due coming up over the next week or so. So just make sure to watch these. This one, because there's a lot of stuff listed right here, it might be a little bit longer, but most of them are really quick. But it's really worth watching that to make sure that you know what's coming up. I'll go over any assignments you need to work on or any due dates or anything like that. So just watch those. If you haven't done this yet, go over to the Start Here tab in the top left and watch that video. I've recorded a video just to show you how everything is laid out in Blackboard. So that would be worth doing too, to make sure you know where to find everything that I'm talking about right here. All right, so let's look. Now, week one, we are not going to meet on campus for the first 2 weeks of class, all right? We're just kind of giving a little bit of time for everybody to sign up for the class. And then next week, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we're going to observe that on Monday. So that's going to throw off our schedule too. So we're just going to wait until week 3 to actually show up. That doesn't mean you don't have stuff to do though. If you look underneath this video, there's a lot of stuff that we need to go ahead and get started on. So just wanted to make sure you're aware, don't come this week or next week, but January 25th, that's when we will actually start meeting for our labs. All right. All right, so let's get started on this week. The first assignment that you need to do before anything else, there is a pretest. Now, this pretest is not worth any points. It's not going to affect your grade at all. This is just something we need you to do to see what you know about biology at the beginning of the semester. And we're going to compare that to how you do on some of the tests later in the semester. All right, it's kind of paperwork stuff that the instructors have to do. But we need you to do this before you start watching lectures or anything like that. So it's really not that bad. Go over to the quizzes tab. At the very top, you should see Biology 201 pretest. It's like a 60 question test. It's not really short, but here's what you can do. Open the test, read through the questions. If you know the answers or if you feel like you've got a pretty good idea what the answer is, then absolutely answer it, go on to the next question. If you if you start reading a bunch of questions and you've never seen those words before, feel free to skip those. That's perfectly okay, all right? We're just trying to see what you know. So if you guess, you might be getting stuff right, even though you don't really know it, if that makes sense. So if you know the answer, click it. If you think you know it, click it. If you don't have a clue, just skip it, all right? So don't stress over this test. It's just to see what you know about anatomy before the class starts. You're not supposed to know any of this yet. So don't worry, like panic if you didn't do well on the pretest, because it's fine. You're not supposed to know this, all right? Okay, a couple other things you can do. Over on the quizzes tab, also you're going to find an About Me survey. This is just a chance for me to learn a little bit more about you. I've got 4 classes this semester. I think I'm up to like 120 students. And I really do want to learn who you are and make a connection of name and face that way. I don't want to look at students and just have to say, hey, you, all semester. So one of the ways that helps me out is if you'll take this About Me survey. It's going to let me know what kind of field or what program you're wanting to go into, and then just some other stuff like that too. And you can earn 5 easy points, so do that. There is a syllabus quiz. Go up to the syllabus tab, is where you'll find that. I emailed everyone a copy of the syllabus before the beginning of the semester, so you may have this already, but if you go to the syllabus tab, you'll find another copy of the syllabus there. Open up the syllabus, read through it. Once you feel pretty comfortable with the information, you can take the syllabus quiz. You can even print off the syllabus if you want to and have the syllabus with you while you're taking the quiz. That's perfectly okay. It's just 5 questions. They're going to be things like, where is my office? What text are we using in this class? And things like that. I just want to make sure that you can open up the syllabus and find information on there. So that is going to be due January 24th. Sorry, due dates real quick. That pretest, take that as soon as possible. You've got until this Friday the 15th to take that. For the About Me survey and the syllabus quiz, you've got until next Sunday, which is going to be January 24th. I know that sounds like it's a ways off, but go ahead and take it now, because I had to push the due date back because some people might still be adding the class. I wanted to give them enough time to complete everything. But go ahead and get it out of the way now so you don't have to worry about it later. All right. There is a diversity project, so there's actually a tab that says diversity project is where you're going to find that. And what you'll do there is you will open it up, you're going to open up the directions, and you'll read through some biographies of a couple different medical scientists. You can, same thing as the syllabus, you can have those biographies pulled up, you can print them off, you can do whatever you need to. But once you've read through that, you're going to take a diversity quiz. You can use the biographies during the quiz. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. This one, we used to make it as like an actual assignment worth regular points. I decided to change it, and I'm making this a bonus assignment this semester. And that actually helps you out more because bonus points can boost your grade a little bit more than just like a regular quiz. So you've got until January 24th to do that one as well. And like I said, use your notes, use the biographies when you're doing that. I want you to get all those points. Okay? All right, so like I mentioned, we're not going to meet this week. We're going to wait until week 3. But when we do meet in person, we're going to have to split this class up into 2. There's 24 students total, and because it's a hybrid and because of COVID, we're going to split the course in 2, split the class in 2. Where half of you will come on Mondays, the other half will come on Wednesdays. That means you're only going to meet in person 1 time a week. Depending on your group, you're either going to show up on Mondays or you'll show up on Wednesdays. I wanted to give you a chance to pick your group. So to do that, go over to the course discussion tab to the left. It's a little bit lower. When you click on that, there's going to be a discussion board, and it's going to say something like pick your day or pick your day to attend. Open up that discussion board, and there's 2 different threads. Group A is going to attend on Monday. Group B is going to attend on Wednesday. All you have to do is click on which group you want to be in and say, like, I'm attending on Monday. All right. So I wanted to let you pick. I know sometimes students will like take classes together, or you might like share a ride with someone in the class when you come to campus. So that way I wanted to make sure that you can be in the same group. I didn't want to split you up. A couple notes though, I can only have 12 students in the class. That's how many we can have and still stay spaced out as much as we need to. So just when you're signing up for your group, check and make sure that it's not full already. As long as there's not 12 students in the class already, you can pick whichever day you want to. All right. Do that one by next Monday, January 18th. I just want to make sure I've got a list settled before we start showing up for labs. All right. Okay. I know this is a lot of information. I'm sorry. There will not always be this much. There's a lot of intro stuff that we got to do on week 1. Everything I've mentioned so far, though, it shouldn't take you that long. You can probably knock out everything we've said so far just in 30 minutes or so and get that out of the way. From here on out, though, so everything else I'm going to talk about, this is actual like class material, like studying and taking notes and stuff. All right. So week 1, we're going to go ahead and start on the lectures, and chapter 1 it's called an Intro to Human Anatomy and Physiology. Sounds like it's just like a preview or an intro chapter. This one is actually probably one of the most important chapters we're going to go through. And the reason is we're going to go through a whole lot of vocabulary, terminology, like talk about the way the body is set up. There's a lot of really important information that we cover in chapter 1 that you're going to need to know for the rest of the semester. So do not skip this one. Make sure you're taking good notes and that you're studying these after you watch the lecture too. All right. So what you need to do is go to the Learning Materials tab. And then I've got 4 different units because we're going to have 4 tests, 4 lecture tests in here. All right. So you will open up Unit 1 is everything that's going to be on your first exam. And click on the Chapter 1 folder. You're going to see a few things there. At the very top, you'll have a PowerPoint. So you can open up the PowerPoint, download it, and then if you'll print it off as a handout, that's going to let you have enough room to take notes out to the side. So I would print that off and have it with you. And then I've got lecture videos recorded. I used to have like a big 2-hour lecture. It was hard to find enough time to sit down and watch 2 hours worth of lecture. That's long enough for a movie. And I'm not saying the lectures are terrible, but this is not as entertaining as a movie. So what I did was I split it up into smaller pieces. But you'll just, whenever you get a chance, you'll go through and you'll watch all of those lecture videos. If you've got the handout printed off, you can take notes out to the side. Just treat this like if you were in a classroom and there was an instructor lecturing in the room and you would take notes when they told you to take notes. Do the same thing with these recorded videos. All right. So do that. And then I've got a quick note underneath that. We're going to have some assignments called Learn Smart assignments. What this is included with Connect, and I'll talk about Connect in just a second, but it's a program that you can use to review quiz. It's like a review quiz where you're going to answer questions about the stuff that we talked about in class. All right. So number 1, it's a great way to study. You'll do better on the test just because you've been studying. Number 2, you can learn some bonus points for this too. All right, so these Learn Smart assignments are going to be worth a few bonus points that I will add to your test. So it really does help out at the end of the semester if you'll be doing these, all right? So once you've watched those lecture videos, you can do the Chapter 1 Learn Smart assignment. I'll have more information on that in just a second, all right? Okay, so that is what you need to do this week. Now these last two things, and I'm sorry, I know this is long, but the last two things we're going to do are you need to get familiar with some things we're going to use in this class later on. So for example, Connect, I know I've mentioned that a little bit already. What Connect is, we used to require students to buy a textbook and a lab book, and it was seriously like $400 for the lab book that you were going to rip pages out of and you couldn't return it or anything like that. So just to make it a little more financially easier, cheaper for students, we switched to something called McGraw-Hill Connect. It's actually the same company that made the textbook, but instead of having a physical copy of the textbook, you're going to sign up for access to McGraw-Hill Connect. That is going to give you access to an e-textbook, so it's like an electronic version of the textbook. And instead of having a lab manual that you rip the pages out of, there's a program in there that lets us do all of the lab activities. You're going to do those on the computer instead. So instead of writing out answers, it'll like show you images and you can click on what the right answers are. All right. We don't have a Connect assignment due this week, but you are going to have one next week. So I want you to go ahead and get signed up for Connect as soon as you can. Go over to the Connect assignments, and then at the very top I've got a video that I recorded that shows you how to sign up for Connect, and then once you've signed up it shows you how to use everything in Connect. You still have to purchase it. I cannot remember exactly how much, but you do have to purchase it. It's not cheap, but it's so much cheaper than the textbook and the lab book was. And when you sign up for it, you get access to Connect for 2 years. I can't remember exactly, but it's basically a 2-year period that you're signed up for Connect. The cool thing about that is so that obviously covers this whole semester. This is the same textbook for this Connect that you're going to use in Anatomy 2 when you take Biology 202. All right. So what that means is that you're buying it right now, but let's say you take Biology 202 next semester, you've still got access to Connect, and you can, you don't have to purchase anything. You won't have to buy anything if you're taking it in person. All right, so that's just a video that shows you how to sign up for Connect, and you need to do that as soon as possible because next week is when your first Connect assignment is due. I know financial aid is an issue sometimes, so you can sign up for like a 2-week trial period and then buy it at the end of that trial period. So like if you don't have your financial aid in yet, sign up for the trial period. That'll get you through the first Connect assignment, but you will need to purchase it after that. Like you're getting points. I think it ends up being like 80 points worth of assignments that are from Connect. And if you don't buy it, you're not going to be able to do those. So make sure that you realize that is something you need to get. Okay, finally, I mentioned Learn Smart earlier, and I'm talking too much, so I'll go quick. But over in the Learn Smart, there's a tab that says Learn Smart, and then it says Bonus out to the side. Click on that tab, watch that video. It'll show you everything you need to know. But like I said, Learn Smart is included in Connect, so you have to have Connect in order to take advantage of this. But it's just a way to quiz yourself on the material that we've covered in the lectures. And when you do that, once you have completed those quizzes all the way through, you can earn a few bonus points. You can end up getting like 6 bonus points on each test by doing those Learn Smart assignments. All right? Sorry, I know that was a lot. I promise next week will be a lot shorter. They're not all this long, but there's just a lot to go through in the very beginning. So welcome to the class. Hope I haven't overwhelmed you and made you want to drop right off the bat. I promise it's not that bad. It'll get a lot better when we start meeting in person in a few weeks too. But let me know if you have any questions as you're going through these assignments, and I'll be glad to help. Thanks.